Hey Scandal Squad, welcome back to the channel, Celebrity Scandalous. This Diddy trial and all of these shenanigans going around are nuts. Diddy's male escorts are coming out of the woodworks and giving us some of the behind the scene dirty deets, y'all. But before we get into it, please hit that like button. Hit that like button, y'all. Now let's get into the mess. Okay, so I was there to see the Punisher's testimony. I think he was like the first week or something. And he blew our mind when he revealed that Diddy liked male fluids rubbed on his tatas, you know? The courtroom gagged. He was also the one that told us that Diddy used to wear like the niqab, you know, the face covering like the Muslim women wear to cover his face and only show his eyes. He also had a rule that the men couldn't look him in his eyes. It was crazy. But the escorts are coming out now on different platforms and giving us the behind the scenes and talking about their experiences with Cassie and Diddy. So I'm going to play the audio clips, but I'll just show their pictures. I won't, play it in real time. But y'all, let's hear what they got to say. It is crazy.
I wanted no attention from this. I thought I would have no say in this, but it was actually the 50 trolling that put my photo out there. First and foremost, I respect the people. When I was in the industry, I respect the individuals first and foremost. I seek no attention from the stories that we shared. So when the photo came out, I was kind of shocked. Just my brother hits me up, so I started like, dude, 50's posted about you. I'm just a small town guy. I don't go out seeking attention and such. So that just kind of opened the floodgate, and then I started to get contacted by sources to give my side of the story. So that first and foremost, I just want to lay down. Cassie was, through the whole experience, was one of the most cordial, respectful people I could imagine. And for her to show someone like me, when I looked up to them on a pedestal of somewhat, once I realized who they were, I went into the experience not knowing anything, who they were. But she just treated me, and I see myself as just a small town dude. I don't see myself in highlight. And she just showed me the utmost respect from day one. There was a night where Cassie, I didn't understand how they enjoyed my presence, but she sat next to me and she's like, there's just something about you. There's an energy. There's just energy about you. And it just was a moment that kind of shook me. I was just like, thank you. It's like you take it in the moment, just thank you and move, and you move on. But like that little statement had a very large effect on my life. I'm a born and raised man of God. I'm a Christian man. So it was a moment where I got to see the Spirit in a time of darkness. And I believe that Diddy saw that in her, and he saw how he could use that, because she did like to serve and please so much, that he could use that in order to satisfy his own desire, in a sense that her goodness, she was satisfied by pleasing him. But it led a very dark road.
I know I've seen you said that you were hired more than a dozen times for these freak-offs with them. Did you observe any of what she talked about?
I didn't.
One of the consistent themes that we're hearing about Cassie from the escorts is that she was a very humble, sweet young lady. I mean, they all liked her, and a couple of them said that they really started to kind of develop feelings for her. A lot of them wanted her to leave him.
See any physical beating or anything of that nature, but I'd be in a separate room for 1 to 2 hours where they'd be talking in the other room, business and things, and you could tell the energy elevated and such. But I'm not one to go stick my ear to the door. That's their personal business, whatever it was. But there were other times at the experience when Diddy would leave the area, and I just would begin to just talk to her cordially. We're next to each other, and it was a moment of, we can't do anything without him here. It was a freeze up. And it was one where I could see she's a human. She wanted to speak, but she was also one who respected. I could see she understood her role, I guess, in a sense, as I did. I was hired there for a purpose, and I was there to serve my purpose. And I think that I wouldn't say she was controlled by necessarily fear, but rather respect. And, some of the choices that she made led to this. But I could see that she would not say or do things if she was not allowed to, put it that way.
Did he ever say anything to you, either when you were hired, when the parties were over? Was there ever anything that you perceived as being threatening said towards you? Anything that you look back on as saying, hey, that was a warning from Diddy?
So one time, after I'd seen him quite a few times, he hands me my phone and the cash. And he kind of very subtly lays it down and says, hey, I know everybody, right? And I know everybody's grandma. And I'm just kind of like, the wheels are turning in my head, and I'm one, I don't approach things with fear. So instead of laughing or throwing out something or saying with fear, I just had a rest assured mind. I just like I know people as well, and I just looked him in the eye and said, "We're good, man. Hey, I understand. We're all good." And it was one of those where I understood what he was saying because I do, I understand the industry and I understand the backdoor avenues and such. So it was one of those very subtle.
Intimidation? Does that word come to mind?
Yeah. One of those where, he's standing on his pedestal and I'm down here and he's like, I know who you know. That's like, yeah. So you kind of see the mob movies.
Now, y'all, this is the Punisher, and just a FYI, he did not get his name from punishing the P, if you know what I mean. He got his name from playing basketball, y'all. Get your minds out the gutter, okay?
Nigga, how was that though?
I mean, bro, even if it was fire.
Bro, was the good for family? Let's stop with political. We was Harlem Town, my nigga. You 39th Street on 40th was the. How was that, my nigga?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I couldn't get there, bro.
Okay.
Like I got a dude pacing back and forth, beating his joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My peripherals, my spider senses is wilding. You know what I'm saying? And especially when I found out it was Puff. When I found out it was Puff, it got all the way worse because if you grew up in Harlem, if you grew up in that era, I can't validate it, but everybody knows there's rumors, right? There's rumors that he could be, interested in dudes. So the whole time I'm semi-paranoid. Like I wrote in my book, bro, for real. I got a hearing problem.
Right.
And sometimes when he would give her directions, I would hear like something completely different. Like he'll say, "Yo, I like the position you in," and I'm like, "Yo, did he just say I wish I could penetrate him?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm hearing, like, "Yo, hold on, wait, what did he just say?" Like,
so basically, you never could get comfortable because. So let's just be clear and get the elephant out the room for the audience. You're not gay, you're saying?
Absolutely not.
Right, nigga.
So far in the trial, nobody has come out and said that Diddy was bi. But I mean, the way, when Cassie was giving her testimony, the way that she said he was obsessing over the peen, it gives, sir, you really like men. You were into it. He was more into the male body parts than he was the women. But anyway, y'all, it's a lot. I know Puffy is sitting there cringing. All of his personal, dark, deepest secrets just put out on Front Street for the world to know. But anyway, y'all jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts. And y'all, do you kind of think that Puffy liked the men more than he liked the women? I'm just saying, the way he treated Cassie would make me think that he really does not like women. But y'all jump in the comments and let me know your thoughts. And I will see you on the next video. Bye.